Okay, we're just starting the day. It's 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and we had to wait for the fog to burn off. You can still see some of the fog over there, all around. You can just see some of the fog over there. Finally burnt off, and there's holes there. There's holes where we could, from camp, we could look up and see blue sky, and it sort of dissipated and burnt off. I mean, it's still around, but the chopper couldn't lift off from camp because it was just too foggy, so we had to wait. And it's 11 o'clock, so we're gonna go to 5:30, and dinner's at 6. So just in time for dinner, we'll go back just in time for dinner. I gotta take off this t-shirt. I'm already cooking. There's a lot cooler down at camp there. And yeah, so up here at the pad, I got a water can for fighting fires in case we get a fire. And I got a shovel and plastic underneath the pad. And that black box there is first aid kit. There's a spare bar, a spare power head there, and I got spare fuel. That's it. Yeah, so I'm going to take off this t-shirt and hike to my saw and start work. It's going to be a long day. It already feels like a long day because it's noon, just about noon, about 11 o'clock. Yeah, normally we quit at 1. 1 or 1:30, depends when we fly up. Yeah, so, okay, I'll see you guys up there. Yeah, my saw's cutting pretty good today. Yeah, nice holding wheel across. Good looking stump. Now I get all the little ones down. So if I threw those little ones down first, over there, through this way, then this big one would break them all, right? Now I'll buck that one. And I can push into the shade for the rest of the day. Oh yeah, worked out great. I'll get that sap in there when I'm out bucking. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this. So far the plan is to leave this for my partner because he's gonna be working this way. Yeah. Well, here's another, I don't know, 6-footer. You can see years ago, half the tree split off. Who knows, like 50, 100 years ago. Split off. Probably a big school marm or something. Yeah, and I got this big fir coming towards me. Oh, it's in the sun here. There you go, see the big fir there? Yeah, so anyways, I have to throw this cedar below it, so I'll probably put it like right into there. Or actually, right above this one here. I'll throw it right into there like this. And then, I guess with that big fir, I'll try and put that one right above this tree, so I'll put it right in here. Yeah, that big one there. Right above this tree here. Let me get her down right there. And I got this heavy leading uphill snag leaning right over a rock outcrop there. That should be an easy one. You don't have to put a big undercut in that thing. It'll go. So I'm not worried about that one right now. Yeah. And the back line is just straight up there too. Okay, let's do it. Should be an easy one. It's got a good lean to it. Yeah, doing this late start. I'm really hungry. I only brought fruit and a couple boiled eggs and some leftover meat from dinner yesterday. But I should have had a snack there before I came into work because we started at 11. And more water. I don't know, I just somehow I'm really thirsty. More than usual. It seems like I'm just more than usual. I'm really thirsty. I gotta conserve my water, even though I got 3 big water bottles. I gotta pack a 4th one in tomorrow. That way I don't have to worry about conserving water. Yeah. At least I got shade. So it'd be way worse if I was in the sun. Directly in the sun. Oh. Ah, it's quick and easy. I'll show you. There it is. Look at that big spider. I hate spiders. Perfect. Right where I wanted it to go. Nice. Odd shape stop. Yeah. Okay, well, I gotta go. I think I have to fill up before I go buck that one. Let me see what we got here. Oh yeah. Probably get one cut, but I'll run out of gas. Okay, I'll see you guys at the big fir. I think I'll try and swing that hemlock, this little one. And then that hemlock, I'll get the little hemlock snag. So these two little hemlocks. Oh no, that one's kind of in the way. Unless I could dump it out this way. I'll see, I'll try and swing this one here. Kind of right where I'm standing. Kind of throw it out right into, you know what? I'll have to think on that one. Yeah. Because you kind of want all the garbage wood on the bottom, so I like to get it below that fir. But I'll have to go and take a look at it, see where I can put it, because I don't want to put it right on top of this thing. I'll have to do some courtesy cuts if I do that. Which is, courtesy cut is you just, if you get some garbage wood on top of good wood, and the good wood is max weight, the helicopter is buck, so that it's the max amount of weight the helicopter can lift, and then you put some garbage wood on top of that, well then, I can't lift that garbage wood, I can't lift that good log off, I can't lift it off the ground with extra weight on it, that garbage wood, so you do some courtesy cuts. So you cut it in a couple pieces, and then the chopper can lift the good wood up. So you want to try and put all the garbage wood on the bottom. My throat's really dry. Yeah, and sometimes it's unavoidable. You try and get all the garbage wood down first, but it's just how, you know, nature and how everything grows. Sometimes you just can't do it, and you gotta do some courtesy bucks, which I might have to do here. Or I follow the big fir, and then follow the hemlocks across the fir, and then courtesy buck it on off of the fir. So either or, I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you always try and be efficient and be, you know, you gotta be strategic, and because you can easily make a big mess. Easily, and some of this wood is worth a lot of money. So you don't want to be smashing wood too. You can devalue a log thousands and thousands of dollars by one little mistake. If you get a nice big high grade piece of wood and you smash it on a stump or something, or you got a couple poles all felled and bucked, you know, nicely laid out, and you fall a big log on top of that and break those poles. The poles are worth a lot of money. So yeah, it's not just about how fast you hammer wood down, it's about laying it out properly and being efficient and strategic in how you do it too. So anyways, I gotta go fuel up, have a drink, and get to work. I'll see you in the next tree. Okay, so I just bored this tree on both sides, and it's really punky wood. It's really soft, punky wood. And there was a little pocket in there before I hit some solid wood. So looks like there's a bit of a twist in this one. And it's right beside the boundary line right there. There's orange ribbon on that sapling. So I think I'm gonna leave it. I'll talk to the boss tonight after work. I think we'll leave it because we've left several of these big firs already on this block. There's one way over there, you can see way over there, that was left. And there's a couple more downhill here. So I think this is a good candidate to leave because there's not gonna be any good wood in it. And I don't want to break any good cedars I got right down there. So I was going to try and put it up high and put it right in there, right above that stump. Which I could still do, of course, but I think we're just going to leave it. Talk to the boss and see if we can leave it. There's no point taking it if it has no value. It's right on the sideline, so yeah. What I'm going to do is dump those hemlocks down, get that uphill lean and snag, and yeah, just work a pocket in this, on this, because here's the sideline, and the back line is just up there, so I'm just going to work up into the shade here, and then finish the day off there, I suppose. Fix up my trail before the end of the day. My trail goes out just over there, and then tomorrow I'll start over on that side. Yeah, and I'll just leave, there's a strip here that's left, and I'll leave that either for my partner or for myself later, because I think most of the work, there's more work down here now in this pocket of wood than there is on the back line here. So I'm trying to even out the work Because you don't want to have it where there's like 2 or 3 days of work left, but there's only enough room for one guy. Well, you can't have one guy working by himself. So there's going to be a second guy on the job site doing nothing. And it's called double it up. So you end up just taking turns, tank for tank, or hour for hour kind of thing. Or, 2 tanks. But it's costly, right? Because only one guy's cutting at a time. There's not enough room for one guy, but you got to have 2 guys there for emergencies. So if a guy gets hurt, someone's got to be there, right? So, but you try to avoid that. So you try and leave wood that when it does get tight, one guy can jump back and you can both keep working right to the very end. And they might be only half a day of doubling up, or if you're lucky, you finish, ideally, exact same time, which never happens, of course. But as long as you can both finish on the same day, or if you finish the same day, or you have it where like in the morning you got like an hour or 2 left, and then you got to double up to finish this one spot, and then you both flip to a new spot and go from there. So anyway, and when you got these blocks, they're all odd shaped, and then you got big leaf patches in the middle, and they're odd shaped, and they get the ground is all odd shaped and everything. So it's really it can be pretty hard to guess and figure out, where I should leave wood, how to work it. And then you got guys coming in, and they fill the whole block in with as many guys as you can. Then it winds down. Then you only got a couple guys, and there's less and less guys. And right now, there's 2 of us in the block. There was 3, but the boss had to leave early for a Zoom meeting because we had a late start, right? So he had to leave. So it's just 2 of us in here right now. Yeah. So anyway, I gotta go back to work. And see you guys next tree. Should have been a little more patient. That didn't take much. Hardly anything holding that up. Okay, so I got a snag here, just outside the line leaning in, so I got to take it. You got a big rotten cat face right here. So yeah, we'll see how much holding what I got. I'm gonna throw it right in there. I want to throw it right in there, right along the face there. Also because I'll only end up crossing one good log. I might break it because it's the top, but that's fine. Yeah, the line, where's the line? Just right there on that tree. Yeah, this is the bottom of the draw. You see the hill goes up over there. That's where I was most of the day. And then there's a little hump right here, and it drops down the other side. And I got to get both sides of the hump here. And it's about half an hour to quitting time, something like that. I think I maybe a little more time than that, but I got to give myself some time to get the pad. Yeah, here we go. Ugh. This might turn into a disaster. She's pretty hollow. Not a lot of holding wood. That might be fine. It might be fine. Even if it does break off, it'll only push over some little trees. Not that big a deal. Okay. I haven't thought about where I'm going to put you guys. I haven't thought about that yet. This is a snag I found the other day. Low down there. Partial low down. Look how nice and green everything is over there. You can put a cabin right there, nice and flat. A little getaway cabin. Of course, it'd be nice if you had it by a pond or something though. So there it is. There's a better view of it. The top is just barely holding together. Oh, a big cat face in the backside too, see that? Okay, well. I'll just put you here. Hopefully this goes as planned. I'm going to be jumping over this log over up that way as my escape route. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, sounds good. Trying to find some solid wood to wedge. I'll try here first. I've only got 3 wedges with me, not 4 this time. But 4 would be a lot better. Huh. Oh, it's too thick. That'll do it. worked just enough. Get these wedges out. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah. Aha. Wow. Yeah, could have cut more on the high side, but I didn't want to cut too much and have it break off and go over that way. Look how hollow that was. Wow, I was only aiming it for like right there. As it pivoted off this post, that's what it did. It pivoted, swung up there. Nice. That's a good salvage of wood out of that. Well, yeah, I'll show you. Whoops, dropped the wedge. Look at that. Oh, clean it. PowerWedge. Oh no, this is PowerWedge. Oh. Woodboss.ca. It's the only place to get them. They have a thinner taper, eh? It's the same. This fat end is the same as a 10-inch Ken-H wedge. It's about an inch thick, but it's 12.5 inches long. So it's got a very gradual taper. So it allows you to wedge heavier wood easier. So there's nothing like that in the market. This gradual taper. So if you're doing lots of wedging, or if you want to make wedging easier for yourself, get the PowerWedge. Woodboss.ca. Okay, just about quitting time. I gotta go buck the brake off of that one. And then I'll just finish getting some saplings, some understory little trees, and then maybe brushing out. And just killing some time there. Brushing out and finish the day off, and then hike to the pad. So thanks for watching. Remember to check out woodboss.ca for the wedges, spinpan.com for my gold pan invention, and trigv.com for my loggers forum. And I'll see you next video.